Okay, so you've gone through Last Wish, you've made it past every encounter, and now you're up to Riven. Maybe you're stuck, maybe you've watched a tutorial on how to do it legit, and you've thought, that is way too complicated. This guide is going to show you how to cheese Riven. Pretty simple, really easy. You don't need any mechanics, okay? So first things first, I will be going over damage, loadouts later. For now, I'm going to show you how to actually do the cheese itself, okay? So we're just in the normal room. We're going to place down the rally. Now your entire team, one person's going to get on each plate, and that's going to start the encounter. Once it starts, you're going to head to the crystal room. The crystal room is this one. Someone with the crystals around it. There's crystal and there's tree. That side is tree, this side is crystal. Everyone is going to go into this room, the crystal room, head through this door, and up here. Now when it says that the door closes at the bottom left, the chamber is sealed, you're going to watch this. And as you can see, I'll replay it, there was a shadow that came across the wall, and that indicates that this is the room that you want to stay in. So the room where the shadow covers the wall is the room you want to stay in. And so now, in this example, I'll show you what it's like when there's no shadow over the wall. So you walk in, it'll say the chamber is sealed in a second. You watch the wall, and there's no shadow. Now when that happens, turn around, go to this wall. When it says joining allies, sit here until you teleport. Run straight to the right with this big tree. So right side as you teleport through. Come down. Keep going. Jump down one more time. And just through this doorway. And now this is the room where we're going to be damaging Riven. So for this cheese, all you're going to be doing is shooting Riven until you kill her. Okay? So if the shadow wasn't there, you're coming to this room. If the shadow was in the original room, you're just going to stay there until she pops her head out. Just kill ads, and here she is. Once she's here, you're just going to shoot her mouth. Make sure not to shoot any eyes, just shoot her mouth. And I am going to die. But you're just going to shoot her mouth until she dies. Alright, so for loadouts, I'm going to be going over a few loadouts that are pretty beginner friendly. I'll be trying to go over ones that, maybe aren't too hard to get. I will not be using my I'll use my super, but I will not be using any damage supers because I want this to stay generalized as possible. So any class, just as long as you're using this weapon. I'll be using transversive steps. That's just to make me sprint faster. It has no effect. And we're going to be using Lament for the first one. With our boots mods, we're going to run double solar surge, triple if you want. And we're going to be running 2 solar reserves and an arc resistance if you want, because everything in the room does arc damage. Gauntlets, they don't matter, put whatever you want. And on the helmet, you're going to want a siphon of whatever your main killing weapon is. So mine's solar, so I'll be running a solar siphon. Now it's not too important unless you're the warlock that's running well, because everyone else will get orbs off of you anyway. But if you are the warlock that's running well, you need to make your own orbs. So that's how we're going to be doing it, because every time we get multiple kills, we're going to generate an orb. That's about it. When we get in the room, I'll show you what you want to be doing. So once we're in the room where Riven is, you see the shadow was on the wall, so I stayed in this room. Once we're in here, we're just going to want to kill as many ads as we can. And as you can see, I'm generating orbs. Now we want these orbs because we want our solar weapon boost for our Lament, which is coming from our boots. We want that to stay. And that comes from our armor charge on the left side of the screen. And our armor charge comes from picking up orbs. So just make sure that we're constantly picking up orbs. We also want to keep our radiant if we are on solar or prismatic. And we want to keep our radiant off. So everyone just kill ads when you're in the room. After about a minute, Riven's going to poke her head out the wall. So about now, we want to come up to here. And just stay here until Riven spawns. Here she is. Now we're going to run over here, put a well down, and start stabbing with Lament. We go 2 charged heavies, sorry, 2 charged lights, and a heavy, light, light, heavy. 2 charged lights, light, light, heavy. And then when she's about to kill you, just do whatever you want. I did mess it up a couple times there, but you do want to charge, go 2 charged lights, and then a heavy, light, light, heavy, 2 charged lights, heavy, light, light, heavy. And just keep repeating that, all 6 of you, and you will kill her in no time. Now this test just then, she wasn't weakened, we had no supers, and it was just me, and I will show you the health bar, and I will show you what it looks like if you do that with 6 people. Okay, so just to go over some of the math I've done here, I've taken the amount of pixels that I've taken off of her health bar, which is 75, divided that by the total amount of pixels, 386 divided by 75. 386 pixels is the total amount of health. That gives you 5.15. So you, as a 6-man team, need to do 5.15 times the damage that I did as a solo. So easily viable for 6 people with weakened grenades, using damage supers. You could do this theoretically with 5 people with just a little bit more damage, with no debuffs and no damage supers. So it's pretty simple, pretty easy, and it's very doable. So as long as you have a sword with jagged edge, just run up to Riven and stab her toes. Now, the damage numbers can be pretty deceiving. See, I believe it said I did 1.4 million. However, after doing testing, a lot of testing, that is a lot more than what it says. When you hit her in the toes, you do a lot less damage in terms of numbers, but you do a lot more damage in terms of hitting her for a health bar. Why is this? I don't know. I'm not really good enough at the game to tell you. But if you have a teammate that's shooting her in the mouth that does about 3 million damage, and you're hitting her toes doing about 1 million damage, you're probably actually doing the same amount of damage. I don't know why that is, but that is how it is. However, if you're running Lament, Jagged Edge, any Jagged Edge sword, you've got a Warlock with a well, or even a Titan with a bubble, just go up there, stab her toes. It's really simple, and that is just how you get it done, simply. There are a lot of other ways, like shooting her in the mouth with Microcosm. However, that requires you to all have Microcosm for a start, or you also need a Weaken, and it does less damage, just overall, than Lament. Does more damage in terms of numbers, but less damage to a health bar itself. You can also use Edge Transit. I actually think Edge Transit is a lot better. Edge Transit plus Still Hunt plus Golden Gun, if you're a hunter, will absolutely shred Riven. Not even close. But this is a beginner's guide. Pretty simple. Just stab her toes with Lament. Now it is charged light, light, heavy, then light, light, heavy. But if you want to sit there and just spam light attack and then just a few heavies, it won't make that much of a difference. Just spam attacks if you really want to, but there is a more efficient way of doing it. But that's pretty much it. That's all you need. Any of these 5 weapons, if you maybe don't have Lament, you can use these on her mouth. But I highly recommend just using Lament. It's really simple. It's pretty easy to get. And any Jagged Edge sword, really. But yeah, that's about it. Good luck.